Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So this morning is the morning before I head out for camp. So I'm taking him about 12ish today, I think. So I've just come down to the stables to check Smokey because I bathed him last night, see how dirty he was, but he's actually fully clean. But I bought him a new lycra full body rug from Master, and it's kept him so clean, so I'm really happy about that. And I'm just sort of organising all of his stuff at the minute. You'll have seen from my packing videos what I'm taking, so I won't go through that now. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. But basically I've just come to give him a hay net so that he's nice and happy in his stable while I go and get the box ready and set all that up.
They got.
So I've given Smokey his Kong so that while I go and get the horse box and everything, he at least has something to keep him occupied. I also need to go and get the clippers because his legs need clipping before we go today. So he's going to play with that. If you guys are interested in Kong, I'll link all the links below. You can get 15% off using my code, although the European website hasn't loaded yet, so but you can save it when it does. If you follow at congequine.europe, all the updates for when Congequine is coming to Europe will be up there, so be sure to check that out. It's Smokey's absolute favourite toy, and we're definitely taking it to camp with us to keep him nice and entertained while he spends the days in his stable. So right, I'm going to head to my parents and we'll go get the box ready. So I got to my parents and basically absolute disaster just struck. So the box handbrake wouldn't knock off even when I was putting the handbrake down. It was seized, so obviously the box wouldn't move without lots of smoke, and it's obviously bad to try and drive it with a handbrake on. So obviously I started panicking. I had everything in the box ready to go. I needed the box to sleep in. The box isn't moving. So to cut a very long and stressful story short, I, after having a complete meltdown, decided that obviously the box needs someone to come and fix it. So luckily we have a recovery service insurance. So my mum rang the recovery guys and they said they could be up to an hour and a half. At this point I was going to miss my show jumping lesson. So luckily we still have the horse trailer. I for Williams HP 511, we still have that. So we decided to chuck everything in that instead and go and pick Smokey up and very quickly take him to camp. So I couldn't film any of that because we were literally rushing about. It was all very last minute because we needed to get there and get him settled before my show jumping lesson. So we did eventually get everything there in the trailer. And my parents said that once the box was up and running, they'd bring that along so I could sleep in that hopefully that evening. So this is Smokey's stable, and this is his little setup that he's going to be living in for the next 3 days. He's got a nice little stable. I popped his water in there and he's just settling in now. I'm going to give him his Kong in a second because I find stuff like that helps him just settle if he's doing something. But as you can see, he's got all of his equipment outside. We brought everything with us. He's a little bit stressed, hence the little bunny hops, but it'll be absolutely fine once I pop his Kong in with him in a moment. So once we were all tacked up, I then headed over to the main jumping arena. So my lesson this afternoon is with Tracy Rivet. So she is my usual riding instructor. You've probably seen her in previous videos with me. And today I'm having a group lesson with 4 people. So no, 4 including myself. I can't count. So this is just us warming Smokey up. He was very alert, very kind of on his toes because it's a new environment. We were at Epworth Equestrian Centre and he's never been here before, so he's never seen these jumps, he's never met these horses, and he's never worked in this arena. So it was a lot going on for him, and obviously he's quite young and quite green. However, he did warm up nicely. He was listening to me. He had a few spooks at a few silly little things, but all in all, he felt very nice and forward and responsive, which is what I like from Smokey when I'm jumping him. As you can see, he did have a little bit of a spook. There was a tractor in the corner he really wasn't too keen on. But once I'd got him nice and focused and we were all warmed up, we then started jumping just a singular jump. This was just an oxer we had here. Now, my mum's videography skills are not the best, but bless her, she did try. So then we started moving and like building around the course. So Smokey was jumping really nicely at this point. I was really happy because these were quite big jumps for him, especially away from home. He did knock this pole, but that was my fault because when I came around the corner I didn't get him straight enough into it, but he still did the really nice strides into the second jump, so I was really happy with him at this point. He was going really nicely. Now, I kind of knew we were going to have a problem with the orange jump, which you'll see in a minute, because he kept looking at it and he doesn't like orange jumps, which sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And two, it had fillers and there's something we're struggling with at the moment. But I came round and he kind of just ran out, which, as we know, Smokey has form for. But then this happened. So then I obviously did a 360, kind of fell on my head, but I hit the pole with my face as I went down, which, let me tell you, was very painful. And I have previously broken my face from being kicked, and yeah, so it wasn't good. But I did get back on board and we did jump it again. We put it a little bit smaller, just to get him over it, and because my confidence had taken a little bit of a knock. He's never put in a really dirty stop like that before with me, like he's ran out or he's told me sort of 3 strides out that he's not going to do it, but he's never gone at it and then just full on put the brakes on. So that did knock my confidence with him slightly, but as I say, I got on board. My face was very swollen and hurting, but we did actually jump the course after that. You'll notice that we put the jumps down slightly just so that I knew that he was going to go over every single one because we wanted to finish on a high. But he did jump really nicely. And as I said, we did the full course. Okay guys, so you're gonna have to excuse me because I don't know if you can tell, but my lip is pretty swollen and so is this side of my face. So yeah, show jumping went really well. It's just, I mean, I'll never need lip fillers because I ride horses. So yeah, Smokey was actually jumping really well until he put that dirty stop in, and that is the first time he's ever put a dirty stop in with me. So obviously it's a new area, it's something very different, and I just wasn't expecting it, hence the face. But instead of dwelling, I'm going to get on with it. I'm still really excited to do cross country tomorrow and hopefully that goes better, but I'm going to set up for the night because I've got some time now before we have food and everything and before the evening activities. So I now have my horse box, and my parents have kindly dropped off the horse box now that the recovery people have been out. So I'm going to put my bed up and yeah, I'll just show you guys me setting up for the evening. Oh. So this is my little sleeping arrangement. I have set bladders here that take me all the way up here, to above the cab. So there's plenty of space. It's actually quite big up here. So I've got my sleeping bag, and then a pillow, and then this really comfy pillow as well. So I'll be nice and snug in there this evening, and I've got a hella bright torch. So yeah, that is me all set up for the evening. So then that afternoon, I just let Smokey hang graze for a bit. After I took this clip, I washed him off just because he had some little marks from where his girth had been and where he'd sweated up slightly jumping. I was really surprised he hang grazed so nicely because there are lots of horses in the fields around us, but he actually settled really nicely into camp, which I was really happy about. So once he'd kind of like had a hang graze and I'd given him a wipe down, I'd then popped his lycra rug on that he'll be spending the night in the stable, because he will cover himself in stable stains otherwise. Good morning, guys. So I apologise if my audio is terrible, because I'm having to film this on my phone. Basically last night my face hurt a lot, so I had to come home to get some tablets, and obviously I can only sleep on one side of my face because this one's still very painful. So I decided to sleep in my own bed last night. So it's like 6 o'clock in the morning now. I'm just feeding the rabbit and I'm gonna head back to camp now. So I am sleeping there tonight. I just couldn't last night because my face was in too much pain. I needed to get ice on it, and I also needed some like paracetamol and things, and ibuprofen. So I stayed at my own house last night. I'm driving back now first thing. Today is cross country day, so my mum's coming and hopefully going to film better than she did yesterday, and I'm also going to wear my GoPro, so there'll be plenty of footage of me on the cross country. Sorry yesterday was so hectic. Like honestly, everything that could go wrong yesterday just did, but I'm feeling a lot more positive, even though I can't say the word. And I really will try and film as much as possible today. But yeah, feeling much better. Very excited for cross country. We're gonna go do this. I'm gonna go feed the rabbit, and then we will head back to camp. So I headed down to check on Smokey and see how he'd been through the night. He was absolutely fine. I took his rug off and took him for a bit of hand grazing before I start mucking out his stable. So after lunch, I tacked up Smokey and we made our way down to the cross-country course. So this is the warm-up area of the cross-country. So obviously I started warming him up, and again I was riding with 3 other riders, different ones today, but my instructor was still Tracy Rivet. Smokey has never been on a full cross-country course before, so this was all very new to him. I've only ever popped him over little logs, but as you can see, he seemed to absolutely take to it. So Smokey was definitely more forward than usual today. He obviously really does enjoy cross country. For most of the jumps that were like the larger ones, I just used this as a training exercise just to take him up to them and get him used to them, because I want to gradually build up his cross country, because obviously I don't want him putting in dirty stops like he did yesterday. So I was just using a lot of this for his training and just to open his mind to the world of possibly doing cross country in the future and to build up that confidence. So there was a lovely little water here, and I've obviously taken him through puddles and things before, but I've never taken him through proper water. So we decided to put all of the horses in there and just walk him through with them initially to see how he got on. He was absolutely fine with the water. I thought he might have a bit of a spook or a bit, wasn't too sure about it, but he actually basically took to it like a duck to water. So we came through and did that at trot and canter as well.
Now canter through. Go, canter, canter. Oh, easy, no problem.
Oh, well
Right.
done, Joe.
Good boy.
And then we made our way round the course. So this is my first ever drop jump. I've never jumped a drop before. I've never really done cross country before, so drops and ditches seemed very, very scary to me. This is like my first time on a full-size cross country as well, so I was really proud of myself for giving everything a go, and I was really proud of Smokey. Like, obviously he wasn't too sure about this at all, but he gave it a go and he did really well. And then we kind of got into our stride a little bit more, so we started jumping a lot more things. They obviously had done cross country before, so I was kind of like the novice in the group, but it was still really nice and everyone was so lovely, which definitely helped. And then we started having to go at this drop here on this little platform and then built it up. Because Smokey wasn't too sure at first, but then he really got his confidence with this. So that just shows he's a really good horse to slowly introduce to things. And we also had a fantastic photographer there today, so we had David Neve. I'll put his links below as well, and I'll be sharing a few of the photos that he kindly got for us while we were on the cross country. So once we built up both of our confidences, I then decided, right, we're going to try and jump some proper cross-country jumps. Now this wasn't particularly big, I think it was like 70-75 centimetres, but it was quite wide, so we introduced Smokey slowly, let him go up, have a sniff, see what he thought of it. This is his friend Sydney, who he really liked. He reminded me a lot of Chilli. So this was our very first attempt. Daisy cleared it nicely, and then woo, me and Smokey did it too. I was so proud of him for doing this. It felt like an absolutely massive jump because he's obviously only little, but he jumped it really nicely. And then we decided to come and have another go at it, and this is where it all went wrong. So unfortunately my striding was just not right up to the jump, and that kind of ended with me falling off. But we caught Smokey and I got back on. So what we did was, just to rebuild confidence, is we had a go at what we'd done previously. So we went back to the previous jumps and did those again, just to build my confidence up before we headed down to the water.
friend. Yeah, I'm fine. I know it sounds daft, I feel better now falling off.
So we ended cross country back in the warm up area, and I gave the other jump on the end a go, and Smokey was absolutely flying at this point. He'd really got his confidence up from earlier, and he was really travelling towards the jumps and taking me, and it was just so nice to feel that energy and enthusiasm when he was really heading towards the jump. So I really enjoyed these last few little jumps, which is why I've just added them in here. So that was the end of our first ever proper cross country experience on a full course. The girls I rode with were so lovely and so supportive. Smokey learnt lots, I learnt lots. It was a really, really great experience. And I definitely kind of needed to go for the first time with other people who have obviously done cross country previously, and with a trainer to give me that support. Otherwise we would not have achieved half as much on our own. So I really enjoyed that, and Tracy was great as always. So once we'd finished cross country, that was all I was doing today in terms of ridden work. I did have a pole lesson booked in today, but Smokey was just too tired after being on the cross country to do that as well. So we headed back to the stables. So all of his little friends left him here, and Smokey's at the bottom stables because he's in the pony one. So I took Smokey back down to his stable and obviously untacked him, and had a chat with Ellie, who came from the yard with me, about how it all went, and washed him off and all of that jazz. So that afternoon we had lunch and then it was time for a demo. So we had a dressage demo by Victoria Moore, who is a GB international dressage rider, and she brought two of her horses to show us a few things and just to kind of chat to us through how she trains them. They were both have been like broken by her and brought on. So she brought Belly and Benny, who are two of her dressage horses, and it was just incredible to watch her and to like listen to her journey, how she got into the sport, how she brings the horses on. She was an incredibly talented rider, but also incredibly kind to the horses, and the demo really demonstrated her horsemanship, and she was so willing to show us things that she was working on. So it wasn't like these are all my best moves, you know, she was showing us that progress as well. And it was a really, really interesting demo. Like dressage, for me, I love watching it. It's something I don't have a great passion to do myself, but after watching Victoria, it was incredible to watch. And I'm actually considering having a lesson with her in the future, as my friend Ellie on the yard actually has a lessons with her once a month, so I'd really be interested in actually having a lesson with her. But that was what we did in the afternoons. That was our afternoon entertainment. And then in the evening, we actually had a makeup masterclass. So on an evening camp, we always have a meal, and then there's like something on afterwards. So the first night was rounders, and then tonight it was the makeup masterclass, which was really interesting, and everyone kind of like had a drink and just had a good time. And then it was on to checking the horses for the evening, making sure they're okay, and just doing our final nighttime checks and topping up waters and things like that.
Little man.
You just being a what?
Go on in, little man.
There's nothing in the bucket. I don't feed you. Why do you want that? No. No. Oh, baby. Don't kick the bucket. I need to pull that in there. There we go.
Need some more hay. More hay?
So guys, you're gonna have to excuse the state of me right now, but I've just managed to climb my way up into the Luton above the cab in the box, because this is where I'm sleeping tonight, and yeah, it's quite a climb. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get back down there in the morning. Hopefully I will, and I've got the world's brightest torch, so luckily lighting is brilliant, so that's great. But yeah, I am surprisingly comfy, and it's surprisingly warm in here. I don't know if I'll be saying that in the morning. But yeah, I've got I look like such a pony clubber. My mum's bought me a duvet earlier when she came to watch me cross country, and it's the bloody Thelwell one. It's got all Thelwells on it. It's literally from my niece's like bed at my mum's house, so I look like such a child. But I've got like a sleeping bag underneath this, and then plenty of pillows, so I'm actually really comfortable. The box is actually quite nice to sleep in, even though it's like not a weekend or anything like that. It's obviously just a stallion box, so I didn't know what it'd be like, but it's really comfortable. I think like it's really windy outside, and it's not actually like I can't really hear much, so that's good. So yeah, this is my sleeping arrangements, and tomorrow I've got a pole work lesson, and then that is us done. I've really enjoyed it so far. Like, it's been so really like good experience for Smokey. Like, obviously it's not exactly gone to plan. I didn't plan to smash my face into a pole or come off today, but it really didn't bother me, the fact that I fell off today, at all. And I thought it would if I came off at cross country, but it was kind of a relief when I fell off, because I was like, if that's the worst that's going to happen, you know, I can live with that. But he's actually, like, he's settled really well today. When he was jumping, the cross country day, he jumped so nicely. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with the fact I came to camp, because I wasn't sure about bringing him. Obviously, he's still a very green horse, and we haven't, like, done much recently. So I was really anxious about bringing him, but I'm so glad I did. It's been a great experience for him, just to, you know, have to be a bit more confident in a completely new environment. Like, he's never stayed away from home before, so this is incredible for him. And then to be working every day in a different setting has been really great. So I'm looking forward to our pole work lesson tomorrow. I feel like all the scary things are out of the way, having done the jumping, and especially the cross country today. Like, that was the first time he's ever been on a full proper cross country course. So I was really proud of what we did today, and he's the sort that I just need to take it slow and steady with. So nighttime checks are done. I'm in bed, nice and comfy. I'm literally just going to go to sleep, because I've had such a long day. I am so tired. But anyway, I'll see you all in the morning, ready for day 3 and the final day of camp. Yeah, see you in the morning, guys. Morning, guys. So, excuse the morning voice. My throat hurts a lot, and I always struggle to talk in the morning when, like, because my lips are a bit more swollen. But anyway, so I slept really well, actually. Like, I wasn't cold or anything. I did have to, like, wrap my duvet underneath the sleeping bag and then on top, because I'm really sore from falling off 2 days in a row. Like, I banged my hip yesterday, and that was really hurting last night, so I think that obviously could have done with a little bit more support, but it's fine. Yeah, it's like 5 to 7 now, so I'm going to get out of here if I can, without absolutely launching myself out of the Luton. And then I'm going to get changed quickly, obviously, like, brush my teeth and everything, and then see to Smokey and see how he's got on through the night. But yeah, a lot better than I thought. Like, I didn't wake up in the middle of the night or anything like that to, like, strange noises, which was a concern. But no, I'm absolutely fine. I actually slept pretty well, and it's not, like, mega freezing. I might just stick a load of layers on and go to see to Smokey and then get ready after. I don't know yet. I'm going to see how cold it is when I actually get out of the sleeping bag. But my, like, face is really tight. Like, this bit on my lip is really tightening up, and then this is really tightening up, so it's kind of a little bit painful this morning, but hey ho. We're all good. Pole work at 12, so go and have a chilled morning and watch my friend ride. So Smokey's obviously had a very chilled night. He's been laid down, which you can't see from this side, but you can certainly see from the other side he's been laid down, and he's got all shavings in his tail. But He's actually still got quite a bit of hay left, which I'm surprised about. You good boy. Yeah, good boy. You're nice and chill this morning, like you can see on this side. That is laid down. A good boy. He's managed to get, I don't even know how, a bit of a steel stain on his face here, but oh well, it's the last day, we're not bothered, are we, Smokes? And he's drank quite a bit of his water, so what I'm going to do now is just take his rug off, skip him out, and then we'll give him a hang graze very shortly, because that's what he wants. That's why he's looking at me like, Mum, come on, get this off. So we've got a few stable stains going on that I started wetting, but then I remembered I brought the stain remover. Stop. It's not going near your eye. So let's just stain remove those, and now I've got some water to give them a wipe off. You have to always the face, Smokes. Always the face. And I find with this, if I just use my hands and kind of work it in a bit, it gets it off cleaner. Stand still. I shouldn't have gotten dirty then, should you? Okay guys, so I've obviously seen Smokey this morning, which you've seen, and then I went and watched my friend ride, and I've just been watching a few other people ride. So now all I'm doing is just kind of packing up the box. So I'm just putting everything in bags, just so that when I finish riding later, at least everything else, like my non-horsey stuff's all packed away. So that is literally what I'm just going to do now, is just continue packing away, ready for us to leave this afternoon. So my final riding activity was pole work, as you can see, with Tracy. This is Smokey's first proper like raised pole work, and he did really well. Like, I was really surprised at how well he took to all the exercises. He was very tired today. Now Smokey, he's in regular work, but he's not in heavy work, so I definitely need to up his work to get him a little bit fitter and have a little bit more stamina, because he was definitely tired today. Like, I could feel him just not like as responsive and not as quick underneath me. Definitely had that little bit of sluggishness today, but to be fair, so did I, after like 2 days of quite a lot of riding and not much sleep in the horse box. But yeah, so this was our session that we had on the pole work. We were working on getting him moving away from my leg and just picking his feet up and working on, you know, building that muscle in the hindquarters as well. So we did various exercises, and I'm going to start introducing a lot more pole work into my day-to-day riding with Smokey, because I think it's important now that we are sort of developing him, that we start doing more things like this, so that it makes it easier when I do have pole work sessions, etc. But this was a really good session. I really enjoyed it. It was a really nice, like, non-stressful session to end with, and I was super proud of Smokey. Now, after my pole work session, we actually had a final lunch and an award ceremony. I didn't film any of it, so I'll just tell you about it now. But basically, I won an Instructor's Award from Tracy. They all had various reasons, like each instructor gave out an award, and I won Tracy's, basically just for persistence and for growing in confidence throughout the week. Obviously, we had quite a bad fall initially, and I still continued and did my first cross country and everything. So I was super happy to have won that. I had such a great time at camp. It really was so worth the money, and I made so many friends and things. But it was just a fantastic few days just to spend, you know, with Smokey. But it was a fantastic 3 days, and I'm really sad to see it end. So we popped Smokey on the box after his lesson, and we took him home, and then obviously we took all of the items, and it was so sad seeing it all empty. But I'm definitely going to come back next year. It was so much fun, and I hope you've all enjoyed watching me as well. Hi guys, so I am now back from camp. It's a few days later, as you can tell by my healed face. But yeah, so I had the best time at camp. Thank you so much for watching. It was honestly an amazing experience, and I would absolutely love to do it again. Smokey really stepped up to that challenge, and I was so proud of him. Proud of myself for getting back on and continuing despite a couple of falls. But as I say, I am absolutely fine now. The swelling's gone down, everything's healed, so we're all good. But yeah, I honestly had the best experience. A massive thank you to South Humber Riding Club for letting me come along and having the best time. It was so well organised. Yeah, it was just brilliant. So I definitely recommend it. If you're part of a riding club, you know, go to your camp, because you will make so many friends and have the best time. Hopefully you stay on a bit more than I did. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that bell icon so you get a notification every single time I post, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys!